So we just witnessed the most disgusting, degenerate, and to be honest, concerning Olympics opening ever. And they hit a new low with this one. There's so many things that they did wrong. I'm actually shocked. And I'm a Kenyan, so I love the Olympics. Loved the Olympics. But I'm honestly struggling to know what was the Paris 2024 Olympics organizing committee? Is there an organizing committee? Whatever. What were they thinking? What were they trying to achieve with such degenerate behavior as the opening act for the Olympics? And it's even more concerning for me as a Christian because there is a hidden meaning behind all these things, and that's part of what we are here to know today. But beyond all that, the Olympics is a social event. It brings together people from all over the globe, 8 and something billion people, and 2.6 billion of those people are Christians, are people of a singular religion. So for you to go out there, first of all, do something wrong by making a political statement in a social cultural event, and 2, proceed to make a political statement that mocks, blasphemes a religion that a significant portion of your targeted audience, almost a third, follow. And for those who did not see it, this is what happened for the opening act. Paris Olympics opens with suggested bisexual Yes, they started with a threesome. It's not even a joke. And here is the actual video. Just look at it and tell me what you think. That's what they opened it with. Degeneracy. Disgusting behavior, and they like it. They look at this guy, he likes it. And then they proceed to do the most heinous, blasphemous thing in the whole show. Now, this is a common picture that depicts the Last Supper. Now, the Last Supper is significant in the Christian community because it marks the moment that sealed the death of Jesus Christ. It was in this supper that he gave his blessings, the betrayal was mentioned, and then the dominoes started falling all the way until Jesus Christ died and eventually rose again. So it's a very significant moment for the Christian community. Look at what they replaced it with. A bunch of drag queens and trans people. I get it that you're trying to make a statement, but why do it while mocking another religion? That's the part I don't understand. If you want to represent a certain culture, why don't you just have them somewhere? Do something that relates to them. What does a bunch of drag queens and trans people, what does it have to do with the Last Supper? It communicates nothing but an actual intention to mock Christianity. And here's the worst part. I don't think they can do this with any other religion. I don't think they can do this with Hinduism, Buddhism. I don't think they can do this with Islam. Their only intention is to mock Christianity. And more to that, it's beyond mocking. It's actually something deeper than that. Romans chapter 1 from verse 21 says, "For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who suppress the truth in unrighteousness, because what may be known of God is manifest in them, for God has shown it to them. For since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse." So these guys, they know God has made it his responsibility to make them aware of this God who exists, this God that they mock, by the popularity of Christianity, by the fact that many people believe in this Christianity, and by the many things that happen in and around the world. So they do know there's a cultural and a religious and a spiritual significance to Christianity. But then again, look at what they do from verse 21. "Because although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God." Rebellion, mocking. "Nor were they thankful, but became futile in their thoughts, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Professing to be wise, they became fools, and they changed the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like corruptible man, and birds, and four-footed animals, and creeping things." Verse 24, "Therefore God gave them up to uncleanliness in the lusts of their heart, to dishonor their bodies among themselves." Are you seeing it? Now let's read the next part. "For this reason God gave them up to vile passions, for even their women exchanged the natural use for what is against nature. Likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust for one another, men with men, committing what is shameful, and receiving in themselves the penalty of their error which was due." Exactly what you've seen in full display in the Olympics opening acts, with all the drag queens and the trans people and, those disgusting things. But again, and even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a debased mind to do those things which are not fitting, being filled with all unrighteousness, sexual immorality, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, evil-mindedness. They are whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, violent, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, undiscerning, untrustworthy, unloving, unforgiving, unmerciful, who, knowing the righteous judgment of God, that those who practice such things are deserving of death, not only do the same, but also approve of those who practice them. And that right there is the biggest problem that we have. They do know and they do know they are sinning, but they just simply enjoy it. They enjoy it, and God has given them up to a reprobate mind, a debased mind. And now we are here seated wondering, why are people openly doing disgusting things? And mind you, it is so disgusting. As a matter of fact, they involve children. Knowledge is a very important thing as far as judgment is concerned. As a matter of fact, Jesus says the end will not come until the gospel has been preached to the whole world, so that judgment can come. Yet these people, despite knowing him, despite knowing that he exists, as you've seen in the book of Romans, completely mock him. And it is so sad, because beyond mocking God and religion, they have chosen to even mock the judgment that arises from their own actions. There is a video that I'll put somewhere here that shows a figure of a pale white horse that is reminiscent, that represents the pale white horse in Revelation. And what does the pale white horse in Revelation represent? It's in Revelation chapter 6, verse 1. Now when I saw the Lamb open one of the seals, these are the seals of judgment, by the way. Now when I saw the Lamb open one of the seals, and I heard one of the four living creatures saying with a loud voice like thunder, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a white horse. He who sat on it had a bow and of him, and he went out conquering to conquer. And if you look at the next seals, they're just judgments upon the earth, cosmic disturbances, the cry of the martyrs, and that is the persecution, widespread death, scarcity on the earth, conflict on the earth. And four of these have representatives with horses, prophetic representatives. And the very first one is the pale white horse that they showed in the Olympic opening. So they not only mock the God of the Bible, but they mock his judgment. And this brings me to the last thing that I believe is the hidden meaning behind what was displayed in the Olympics opening, and that is the spirit of the Antichrist. Now, this Bible says in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, where the Bible says, "Let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away comes first, something that we've witnessed in masses. And the man of sin is revealed." This is the Antichrist, the son of perdition. Verse 4, "who opposes and exalts himself against or above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he sits as God in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." The biggest highlight of the Antichrist, other than persecution obviously, is how he mocks religions, how he mocks people. And for what you've seen here are people who know God, but they still mock him, and they mock him to the level of degeneracy that we now see. This only indicates a spirit of the Antichrist, that despite knowing God, you mock him. Despite knowing Christ, you mock him. And this is only indicative of the fact that we are getting to the end. We're getting to a point where the earth is ripe for judgment and ready for the coming of the Antichrist. Because just like these people have no problem mocking religion that is represented by billions of people just to make a political statement. And I'm not just talking about the actors, but the ones who organized this event and approved of these presentations, and the higher-ups thereof. Just as they do not care about mocking this religion, they are opening themselves up for the reception of the Antichrist and for the coming of God's judgment. And so again, for us as Christians, what do we do? Of course, you have an obligation to stand up against such, hypocrisies. You have to stand up against our religion being mocked and stand true to the faith. But beyond that, we also have to protect ourselves from what we are constantly being shown. We have to ready ourselves for the coming of the King. We have to ready ourselves for the coming of Jesus Christ. We have to maintain purity and righteousness, and do that with the knowledge that it's going to get harder as time passes. The more we go into the future, the harder it is for you to remain righteous, for you to maintain a certain standard of purity, if this is being acceptably pushed around in such a huge event as this. I will not be surprised if next time it's now the World Cup that has such shenanigans as its opening acts. But until then, stand strong in the faith, be vigilant, and know that the devil prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. If you'd like to watch my video on Kanye West, kindly click on the video right here. And if you want to watch my video on Maverick City Music, click on the video right here. Otherwise, kindly remember to like and share the video and subscribe if you haven't. My name is Regin Mwanda, this is the King Christian. I hope to see you in the next one. God bless.